Hey guys, Spartan25 here, watching the launch of the Thor-7, and I forgot the name of the other satellite, aboard an Ariane-V. I think it's the, Sicral-7? It's Sicral something. Well, that's one. Second, I just need to check it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome for our third launch of the year from the Guyana Space Center, the first with Ariane-V in 2050. Tonight, Ariane-V is set to deliver into a standard geostationary transfer orbit, Thor-7 for Telenor satellite broadcasting in Norway, and Sicral-2 for the Italian Ministry of Defense and the French Direction Générale de l'Armement in the frame of a contract with Telespazio. Ariane-V will be required a performance slightly below 9.8 tons. It will have a window of 1 hour and 54 minutes to lift off. I would like to thank Telenor for entrusting Arianespace with the launch of this new satellite, manufactured by our partner SSL. Once on location at 0.8 degree west, Thor-7 will strengthen Telenor position by maintaining its leading broadcast position in the Nordic region and by further developing its role as a major distributor of satellite services to the maritime and offshore sector. I am also grateful to the Italian Ministry of Defense and French DGA for having relied in the frame of a contract signed with Telespazio upon Arianespace capacity to provide Europe with guaranteed access to space. After Athena Fidus, successfully launched by Arianespace in 2014, Sicral-2 is another example of the key cooperation between Italy and France in the domain of satellite secure communications. This cooperation is also highlighted by the selection of Thales Alenia Space for the manufacturing of Sicral-2. Tonight, Arianespace is thus particularly proud to be in charge of a launch mission representative of the diversity of its customers and missions, commercial and institutional, civil and military. But our 78th Ariane-V is now being readied for liftoff, so enjoy the show.
Can't wait for this. Yeah, this is fantastic. That's the Vulcan 2 right there. That's one of the boosters. We saved the upper stage, by the way.
Hello and welcome. I'm Katie Haswell and we are live at the Guyana Space Center for the third launch of the year. A thoroughly European launch for both civilian and military customers based in Norway, Italy and France. There's Ariane on the pad. On board we've got our two passengers, the telecommunications satellite, Thor-7, and the Franco-Italian Armed Forces satellite Sicral-2. And you can see on the top right-hand side of the screen, there is our countdown.
T-minus 11 minutes,
We are 11 minutes and 19 seconds to launch. Ariane-V is a big and powerful beast. She's made of 4 sections. We call them stages. The first stage are those boosters, roughly the size, the weight of giving thrust of 6 jumbo jets each. The main stage there, the central core stage. And then above that we have the upper stage, whose job it is to take the satellites to their final position.
Okay.
That weighs roughly the equivalent of a business jet. And above it, the fairing, that pointy bit. Inside there we have our 2 satellites. You can see them, Thor-7 in the upper position for Telenor satellite broadcasting, weighing in at roughly 4.5 tons.
That's quite heavy.
Then you can see below it the black structure, and inside it Sicral-2 for Telespazio, and weighing slightly under 4.5 tons.
The black part is called Stilda.
This is the Mission Control Center, about 18 kilometers from the pad. Various different operational teams here. This team is called the Flight Directorate, or the Flight Control Desk. It's Ariane top management, and they take all the important decisions in the event of unplanned situations, and teams working across the base report directly to them in real time. You'll see them all on the phones. The first satellite to be separated will be Thor-7 for the private Norwegian operator Telenor, and it was built by Space Systems Loral.
It is with great pride that Ariane-V is launching Thor-7 for Telenor, hence contributing to the expansion of this major European operator. We have been very honored to have been selected as the launch services provider after the launching of Thor-6 a few years ago. The launch campaign here in Kourou went very smoothly in a very friendly atmosphere between all the participants. Space System Loral is very familiar with our method of work and with the facilities, and actually there will be several other SSL spacecraft to be processed and launched from Kourou later this year. After 20 minutes of powered flight, that will be followed by a series of maneuvers by the upper stage, the two satellites will be released on their targeted transfer orbit, and then they will start their journey to their final destination on the geosynchronous arc.
And the second spacecraft to be separated will be Sicral-2, and that's going to be handling strategic and tactical communications for the French and Italian armed forces, as well as telecoms for NATO countries. Thales Alenia Space built it at their Rome and Turin facilities, and Telespazio will be operating the satellite.
Good for them.
Sicral-2 is a joint Italian-French program based on a geostationary satellite operating the UHF and SHF bands. It will enhance the MilSatCom, or military satellite communication capabilities, already offered by the Italian satellite Sicral-1, Sicral-1B, and the French Syracuse system. The Sicral-2 project is the second collaboration of this kind between Italy and France, with Telespazio and Thales Alenia Space. In February 2014, last year, we successfully launched Athena-Philus, a dual communication satellite from France and Italy. The Sicral-2 project is an important industrial collaboration between Telespazio and Thales Alenia Space. These projects are an example of what Europe can achieve when bringing together the skills and expertise of its industries. In this case, Telespazio, Thales Alenia Space, and Ariane-V. The results reflect the many years of continued focus on industrial excellence.
A couple of key people here in mission control. One of those is the range operations manager. Today it's Jean-Luc Voyer.
Never heard of him.
And we have a hold in the countdown.
Okay,
The range
hold.
operations manager is the person who
À
calls
tous
out.
vidéo, arrêt du décompte, putain rouge, base. Que tous les moyens soient prêts pour la reprise de la chronologie à 0-7 minutes en cas de retour au vert.
So he's just announced that we have a hold in the countdown, and we are going to reset the clock for 8 o'clock UTC. The original launch was scheduled for 1937, and this is a perfectly normal situation. It's a hold in the clock is a well-rehearsed part of any launch. The system is designed specifically for this, and it's why we have the launch window. We have nearly a 2-hour launch window today. The launch window is the time during which we are able to launch, and we have 1 minute and 54 seconds. These are the status panels that you can see on the left-hand side, and they are a little bit like the dashboard in a car or a sort of traffic light situation. Red means stop and green means go. And of course a launch is only authorized here at the Guyana Space Center if everything is perfect and all the parameters are according to plan. So the countdown is stopping for about 20 minutes or so. We haven't reached the synchronized sequence yet. Once the